Yo, what's going on, dudes? Catain here with a brand new video for you guys, and in today's video, I have something really cool planned for you guys because we're going to be seeing what round Churchill can make it to if we make a perfect map designed for Churchill. So the first thing we have to do is we have to create a map that is designed for Churchill. So this actually shouldn't be too hard. I think for Churchill, the best idea would be to make a straight line map. So, the only question is what we want the straight line map to do. Like, do we want it to come from left to the center, or do we want it to come from the top? I think it would be better if we made it come from the left-hand side, because that way it has kind of a similar theme to our Sodom map. So it's going to take a little while to get the pathway set up. So I'm going to go ahead and get the pathway set up, and I'll bring you guys back as soon as I'm done. All right, so I have the pathway set up. So now we need to go along and beautify this entire map, because I mean, you guys know the deal. I hate having super plain maps. So I'm going to go ahead and add a bunch of detail to this map, and I'm not going to make it so there's a bunch of obstacles that will get in the way of placing farms. So I'm going to go ahead and get this map set up, and I'll bring you guys back as soon as I'm done. There we go. Even though it may not be the most detailed map, this is definitely a lot better than just leaving it a straight line, right? So let's go ahead and jump into sandbox mode really quick to make sure that none of these trees are blocking any towers. And perfect. We also need to check these trees down here, and also perfect as well. Perfect. So now the next thing I want to do, we also need to choose a background effect. So the background effect, we'll keep it relatively simple. We'll use this cherry blossom tree background. And then for the music, let's go ahead and choose something cool. Let's just choose Carnival Complextrio, because I think Carnival Complextrio sounds pretty sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and publish my map, and then we can go ahead and get started to see what round Churchill will actually be able to make it to. All right, and there we go. We have officially beaten our map. So let's go ahead and publish our map, and then jump into a new game to go ahead and see what round Churchill can make it to. All right, so if you guys would like to play this map for yourself, but here is the code. So let's go ahead and jump into a new game to see what round Churchill can make it to. So because Churchill is a really expensive hero, we're gonna have to use a cash drop in order to get him placed down on the screen, right? So let's go ahead and use a cash drop to get our Churchill placed down, and then we'll go ahead and place our Churchill right here. So there's not really too much to show on the first couple of rounds. I need to make sure that I have my Churchill positioned correctly though, because it looks like he isn't going to be able to shoot straight. So let me go ahead and sell my Churchill really quick to get him in a little bit of a better position. I think this should be a little bit of a better position. Let's go ahead and see how straight. Okay, this is a much better position. Cool. All right, so now that we've done that, let's go ahead and get started on our farming. So Churchill's going to cost a lot of money in order to upgrade him, so we're going to need a lot of farms, right? And because we're just testing out Churchill, we're not going to be buying any other towers. So I think we should be able to get our machine gun before we get our first black balloons. If we can't, we may need to invest a little bit of money into our Churchill to unlock that machine gun, right? If we can't, then we may need to rely on the assistance of another tower. If we do buy another tower, we'll probably end up grabbing ourselves a dart monkey just to be on the safe side. Because the only problem with Churchill is that when he's a low level, he can't pop black balloons. Now, ideally, we could buy an MIB, but the MIB is going to be a little bit pricey in the early game. So like I was saying, we may need to end up relying on a dart monkey to pop black balloons. All right, so we have our first problem. We don't have any camo popping power. So we could let this green balloon slip through, but let's go ahead and grab ourselves a camo detection dart monkey until our Churchill can see camo balloons, which he just needs to level up one more level, then we're good to go. So let me go ahead and buy his level 6, so that way we can go ahead and get rid of this dart monkey. Now, it really wouldn't have mattered too much if we bought that dart monkey or not, because that green balloon really wouldn't have even eaten into our mana shield, right? All right, so I'm not really expecting too much resistance from the balloons in the early game, especially since our Churchill has so much time to hit the balloons. So I'm not going to bore you guys too much with the early game. I'm going to go ahead and get all of these farms set up. And then after I have all of these farms set up, I'll go ahead and bring you guys back when we start buffing up our Churchill. I need to come up with a map where we can buff up the towers with a true sun god and have the true sun god not get any pop. That would be the ideal map for truly testing what round a tower can make it to. All right, round 58, we have all of our farms. We have a banana central, as well as we have 10 BRFs. So we should be able to make plenty of money. So the first thing I want to do before I do anything else is I want to go ahead and buff up our Churchill with a village. This village is going to be really, really important because our Churchill can't pop black balloons. So let's go ahead and upgrade this village up to Homeland Defense. Then after we have this homeland defense, then we'll start all ultra boosting our Churchill. On top of that, I think I should grab a perma brew as well. Dude, there's another thing that I really want to grab, and I want to grab myself a monkey sub. And then with this monkey sub, let's just go ahead and buy ourselves a energizer first. That way we can reduce the cooldown of Churchill's abilities. Now let's go ahead and buy our perma brew for our Churchill, and then let's go ahead and move the perma brew away from the track. That way the perma brew doesn't get too many pops. So I want our Churchill to pretty much get every single pop in this game. So as long as we do everything correctly, I think a Churchill should be able to make it much further than Sada did, because Churchill's abilities, unlike Sada, actually do a lot of damage to like Moab Bloons, and I don't think Churchill will struggle as much as Sada did up against bad Bloons. So let's go ahead and buy our overclock, as well as let's go ahead and buy ourselves 2 ultra boosts as well. Now I had somebody in the comments say yesterday that the overclocks don't stack, but I think they do stack. Like, can anybody confirm in the comments below if the overclock and ultra boosts do stack? Because I think they stack, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I've been playing Bloons for a while, and from what I know, the overclock and the ultra boost do stack. And also, I had somebody in the comments yesterday say that the call to arms doesn't have global range, but this is actually something that they changed a few updates ago. The call to arms does have global range now. So if you guys pay attention to Churchill's buffs, call to arms is active because the call to arms now has that global range. There we go. So we should have the maximum amount of buffs that we can give our Churchill, at least without like going for like the Vengeful Sun God or the True Sun God and the Sun Temple. Like I was saying, I do want to like come up with a map design where we can give towers the True Sun God buff. It's just, if we did design a map like that, then the map would end up being like really short, right? So I went ahead and I leveled up my Churchill all the way up to a level 20. So now there's nothing else that we really need money for. So let me go ahead and get rid of all of my farms. Like, if we do decide to go for another tower, maybe we'll grab like a glue gunner, but I really don't think the glue gunner made a massive difference. The main reason why I grabbed the glue gunner with Sada is because Sada has that ability where Sada actually does more damage to balloons that are like glued or stunned. So that's why I ended up grabbing the glue for Sada, but for Churchill, it's not going to really make a big difference, right? So we really don't have too much to compare against our Churchill. So for our Sada ended up making it, what, around 158? And on top of that, Sada also had a total of 37 million pops. So this will be like the true test to see out of the 2 heroes, which hero is going to be better, Sada or Churchill. So in my opinion, Churchill is definitely the strongest hero out of all of the heroes in Bloons. Like, I know I say Azili's really good for going late game, but the only reason why Azili's good for going late game is because she has that damage over time ability. So as far as like raw power is concerned, I think Churchill is the best hero. So if any of the heroes have the chance of making it past round 158, then it's definitely going to be Churchill, right? But it's definitely going to be interesting to see out of all the heroes in Bloons, which hero is going to be able to make it the furthest. So this is definitely going to be a really fun experiment to see like which hero can go the latest in Bloons BTD6. So far the record right now is held by our Sada at round 158. So let's see if Churchill is going to be able to beat that record. Now, one thing that might be a little bit conflicting is that Sada's map was much shorter than this, but the map that we tested Sada on was definitely the most optimal map for her, right? At least that's my opinion. Feel free to let me know in the comments below if you guys feel the same, because there's not really too much else that we could have done with Sada as far as like making her track longer, right? Like, we probably could have made the circle a little bit bigger, but for the most part, I don't think that would have made a real big difference. Like, if anything, I think Sada may have been able to go like 1 or 2 more rounds if we made the track a little bit longer, but it wouldn't have made like a super big difference, right? So because each hero has a different optimal track to like play on, I'm gonna need your guys' help to like figure out what track would be like the best layout for the different heroes. So this is definitely gonna be the best layout for Churchill, but for like Quincy or like Zilly or all of those other heroes, I don't know if this is gonna be the most optimal track. So let me know in the comments below like what tracks would be best for each hero. All right, so here we are on round 100. Our Churchill is finally going to be taking on his first bad. So it's going to be interesting to see how long it's going to take Churchill to pop this bad balloon. And there we go, dude. So Churchill actually popped that bad much faster than Sada. But then again, we were able to get off 2 of Churchill's abilities before the bad balloon even got within Churchill's range. Now, another hero that I'm really interested in testing out, Geraldo. But I don't know what kind of map would be best for Geraldo. Like, I honestly think Geraldo is kind of similar to Churchill with, like, having a straight lane map. But I think I would have to make the map a little bit shorter because we would have to, like, make it so all of... if we position all of Geraldo's, like, crossbows along the edge of the track, that should still end up being it should end up working out quite nice. And this is exactly why I want a guy like guys' help to like design the best maps for each hero. Man, Churchill is just absolutely shredding all of these balloons, guys. Like, his Pierce is so nasty on straight lane maps. So I have a feeling that Churchill is going to be able to go the distance. Sada ended up making it to round 158. I'm predicting that Churchill is going to be able to crush Sada's record. And I'm thinking that Churchill should be able to make it to like round, let's say like round 170. I think round 170 is a little bit on the conservative side. Maybe Churchill would be able to go even further, especially on a map that's solely designed for him, right? And while we're in the process of going late game, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. I know we're not getting as many views as we used to get in the past, but I still appreciate each and every single one of you guys taking time out of your days to stop by and just like watching my content. And hopefully as time goes on, we'll get more and more people that stop by the channel and eventually get back to where we were in the past. But nonetheless, I am appreciative to every single one of you guys that are, again, taking time out of your day to watch my videos. With that being said, if you guys have enjoyed this video so far, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to subscribe as well, because I do upload awesome BTD6 content every single day. And if you guys want to show me a little bit more support, if you guys do end up buying anything from the BTD6 shop, please feel free to use my creator code H2K Titan. So that's enough of the shameless plugs, guys. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to like round 150, unless anything important happens, of course. Alright, so round 140, we're up against our first reinforced bad balloon, so this is where things are going to get a little bit tough. So I don't know how much damage our Churchill is going to be able to do up against a reinforced bad. So I think we're going to be in the same situation that we were with Sada, where our hero's really going to struggle to pop a reinforced bad. So this is another one of the like downsides of like using a really long map, is that there is going to be points where our Churchill isn't going to be able to like hit the reinforced bad. But I think, again, this is definitely going to be the most optimal map for Churchill, right? So here we are on round 157. This is the last round that Sada was able to fully complete. So as long as Churchill can beat round 157, then he'll be on the same level as Sada, right? Regardless or not if he loses on round 158. So far the only balloons that are, well, actually all of the balloons are starting to give us a little bit of a hard time. The DDT balloons, because they're pretty fast, our Churchill's actually struggling with them a little bit. Like, they aren't making it like super far, but they are a little bit faster than they used to be. So here is round 158. Let's see how our Churchill does up against round 158. Also, let's get a quick pop count for our Churchill. Our Churchill is currently at 50 million pops. How does that even remotely make sense? I mean, Sada only had like 37 million pops on this round, right? So how does Churchill have like over 10 million more pops than our Sada? Well, actually, I think it's around like 15 million, right? Because I think that's how many pops Sada had. I think Sada at the end of round one, well, actually, when we lost on round 158, she had 37 million pops. So does that mean our Churchill had to deal with more balloons than our Sada did? That's so weird, dudes. All right, round 158, we managed to pop the bad balloon, and we also managed to pop the DDT balloons as well. So now we just have these last 2 ZOMGs to deal with, and then we will have officially beaten Sada's record. Yeah, just look at how much our Churchill is struggling up against those ZOMGs. That's actually kind of nuts. Alright, so there we go, dudes. We have officially beaten Sada's record. So from this point on, Churchill does hold the record for the highest round. On top of that, he also holds the record for the most amount of pops for some reason. So now the last thing we have to do is we have to wait until Churchill actually loses up against these balloons. So far, I think Churchill may actually be able to make it until like round 170. Like even the bad balloons on their first lap are still getting a lot of damage done to them. So I'm actually kind of curious, like how are Churchill's going to do up against a reinforced bad? Because a reinforced bat is going to be pretty chunky for our Churchill to deal with, but because he's dealing so much damage to normal bad balloons, I actually don't even think a reinforced bad balloon would cause us to lose. So I'm going to go ahead and do another little bit of a fast forward bit up until we come across another reinforced bad. If I'm not mistaken, another reinforced bad balloon should be coming soon. All right, dudes, it's looking like we're getting really close to the end here. This bad balloon, I think it has to be close to leaving. Like there can't be very many laps left at all. Dudes, like no joke, this bad balloon has been on the screen for like the last half an hour. This is actually crazy. I can't believe we're lagging so much and it's only round 190. I'm again really confused as to why there's so much lag on this map. Like I almost wonder if it has to do with like the background effects. Maybe next time I make a map like this, I won't add the background effects to see if that's what's causing us to have this lag. Or then again, it could be like the tree branches. That's another thing that it could be, but I don't think it should be the trees because the other maps that I've like made, I've had trees like them before, but they still didn't have this much lag, right? And that's all she wrote, dudes. Man, I can't believe we weren't able to pop that last bad balloon. That's actually crazy. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Churchill really quick, and we managed to last until round 190. That's actually nuts. So our Catain Churchill ended up with 201 million pops, which blew Soda out of the water. On top of that, we also made it to round 190, and if I'm not mistaken, our Soda made it to round 158. So our Catain Churchill ended up beating our Soda by 32 rounds. So I don't think the rest of the heroes are going to be able to make it as far as our Catain Churchill, but then again, I think Azili might be another strong contender. But anyways, dudes, that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to subscribe as well because I do upload daily BTD6 content. Also, if you guys would like to give the map a try for yourself, here is the code. But anyways, dudes, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.